28 years ago, I came home from college and pulled one of my great-grandfather's books off the shelf. Up until that point, I'd always felt a bit adrift, growing up in a family that preferred the modern conveniences to the relative discomfort of being on the road. I am now 48, as old as my great-grandfather was when he passed through the velvety twilight in 1927 from an infected spider bite. How was it that a man who had traveled, camped, and hunted throughout the Canadian wilderness and survived a near-death experience with a grizzly bear would, in the end, succumb to a tiny little insect? James Oliver Curwood was an adventurer and an author. I have a dusty set of all 32 books he wrote, which were mostly embellishments of his experiences in the Great North. But it was his shortest book that I read with such affinity that day. In it, he told the story of how that grizzly bear changed his life, why he never again hunted for sport, and how he began his arduous fight for conservation. Jim's treatise on nature argued that the glory of life exists equally in a blade of grass as it does in a person or a bear, that a walk in the woods could bring one closer to the Great Spirit, as close at least as any walk down the aisle of some grand cathedral. He wrote of reincarnation and how the waters of his beloved Shiawassee River would carry him across to the other side. And then time stops. The tapping of the keys ceases. The river flows still. A fisherman casting to wary trout is caught on film. Two people sit by a campfire again, alone together in the darkness. Sometimes I take pictures for Jim of places I think he would like. And sometimes I just listen for him to tell me where to look.